first thing to do is find the valve, and you start kind of opposite the valve. And I'm going to take the tire off using these tire irons as leverage. I'm going to pry underneath so I can see the frame. I'm going to tuck one of these under the tire frame. And then I'm going to hook it. There's these little hooks on the end. I'm going to hook it to this so it stays. Then I'm going to take my other tire lever and kind of get underneath. This is the hard part. Here we go. I'm gonna cut out a few seconds of video there. So I'm stripping the tire off all the way around so that one side of the tire is off. We're going to leave the other side in because it's a lot harder to get the tire back on if you take it all the way off. But now that this is loose, I should be able to reach in, find my valve again, should be able to reach in on the other side over here and pull out my tube. And then it just comes out nice and easily. And the last step is pulling out. You might have a little screw on here, tire here, that needs to come off so that the valve can come all the way out. I'm gonna put this right there and pull the tire right out. So normally I would use a new tube because this one's got a hole in it somewhere. But since we're practicing, I'm going to reuse the same tube. So now we start the process of putting the new tube in. The first thing to do is put a little bit of air in the tire, a little bit of air in the tube, and you can do that, you can actually just blow right into it. Just enough to give it some shape. If you did have a puncture in here, you could use this to find out kind of where it is. And then you can line it up with the valve hole and figure out where on your tire you had the puncture. So it's a good idea to run your hands around the outside of the tube and around the inside to make sure you get out any glass or rocks or whatever it was that gave you the flat tire in the first place, so that your brand new tube doesn't also get the same puncture. So once you have that straightened out and you have your new tube without any holes, you have your glass or rocks removed from the tire, we're going to start to put this back in. So I'm going to fill it up with air again, put this right back in, a little bit of air, slide this back in, and then I start the process of fitting this back underneath. And at the same time, you kind of use the lever again, getting the tire lip back over just working a few sections at a time, getting the tire back over the tube. You want to make sure that you don't pinch it at all. And make sure that the tire is over top of the tube and not pinching it, or else you can get another flat. So this might take me a few minutes. We're going to pause it and start back up when I'm ready for the